All right, let's get right into it. When we're talking about getting federal gun rights back, there are basically two types of people. You got the folks who wait until the very last minute, and then you have the ones who are quietly getting ready right now. And trust me, with the feds finally making moves on a new restoration process, you do not want to get caught scrambling.
So check this out. On the left, that's last-minute Larry. He's stressed out on the couch, mail's piling up, you know the type. He figures he'll deal with all this stuff, eventually. But on the right, that's prepared Patrice. She's at her desk, she's organized, and she's getting her story straight. These two, they represent two completely different ways to handle what could be a life-changing opportunity.
So here's the bottom line. A real, actual federal process for restoring gun rights is coming back for the first time in decades. The question isn't if it's happening, it's which one of these people are you going to be when it arrives? Are you going to be in the scramble, or are you going to be on the path of preparation?
But hang on. Before we even get into talking about getting rights back, we have to be 100% clear on who is blocked from having them in the first place. You know, this is square one. It's the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
The official legal term here is prohibited person. Now, that's not just some random phrase. It's a very specific legal status under federal law. It comes from a statute, 18 U.S.C. 922G if you want to get technical, and it basically means the federal government says, nope, you can't legally have a gun or even ammo.
So who exactly fits into this category? Well, it's a specific list. We're talking about things like being convicted of a felony, of course, but it also includes certain domestic violence misdemeanors, some specific mental health rulings that came from a court, and even being an unlawful user of certain drugs. Any one of these can put up a federal roadblock. And that right there brings us to the really big news. See, for years, decades really, the federal process to get relief from all this was basically dead. It had no funding from Congress. But that's all changing. The Department of Justice is actually bringing it back, building a new online application for people to try and get relief. This is a huge deal. Okay, so this huge shift really shines a spotlight on those two different paths we talked about. Let's go back to our friends Last Minute Larry and Prepared Patrice and see what these two mindsets really look like when the rubber meets the road. The unprepared mindset is just passive. It's that whole, I'll figure it out later attitude. It's thinking you can just hop online one day and fix a really complicated part of your past in like 5 minutes. The prepared mindset, though, that's active. That's someone thinking, hold on, I need to get my story straight first. It's understanding that if somebody else is going to review your past, you better know it inside and out yourself. And this right here, this picture just says it all. On one side, you've got total chaos, a mess of old mail, papers you haven't seen in years. On the other side, you have order, a simple, clean folder that says court records. One is a total mystery, and the other is information that you actually control. And here's where it all leads. When the time finally comes, the unprepared person gets completely blindsided. They see that documents required screen and it's instant panic. Meanwhile, the prepared person, they're not surprised at all. They expected this. They've already got the document and they're just calmly looking it over. See the difference? No panic, just preparation. Okay, so we've seen the two paths, right? Now let's talk about what getting ready actually means. And look, this isn't about trying to file something tomorrow. It's just about getting your own house in order first. It really breaks down into 3 simple, common sense steps. Number 1, get your own records. Don't guess what's in your file, know what's in your file. Number 2, learn the basics. Understand why you're blocked by looking at those categories we talked about. And finally, number 3, organize your story. Put your paperwork into a timeline so your own history actually makes sense to you. You know, this quote right here says it all. You can't be a stranger to your own past, not when your future's on the line. Getting your own story in order is just about taking responsibility for your narrative before you ask somebody else to judge it. And that brings us to maybe the most important idea in this whole thing. In a process where there's a lot you don't know, the key is to focus like a laser on what you can control. So here it is, the absolute truth. You don't control Congress. You don't control the Department of Justice. You have no say in how fast their new system is going to work. But you 100% control your own preparation. That power belongs to you and you alone. And being prepared gives you something priceless: clarity. The prepared person isn't just guessing.
They know what their record actually says. They have a basic idea of which law is causing the problem, and they know generally what path might be available for them when the time comes. They've swapped confusion for knowledge. Okay, now it is absolutely critical that we are crystal clear on this next point. Everything we've talked about here today is for your education only. This is not legal advice for your specific situation. We're here to help you understand the system, not tell you what to do.
So what's the big takeaway? It's simple. Don't wait for some government deadline to suddenly start caring about your own story. The goal is to move smart, not scared. If you want more educational resources to help you understand how all this works, check out legal-gangsta.com.